Morning students. Now we had to see 10th standard, second unit, second lesson, the night the ghost got in prose remaining. First of all, I have to remember before class. The author Darbar woke up and went to restroom. After he bathed and ready to come, he heard one sound in his dining room. Somebody there, so feared. So he went to downstairs and woke up his bro, Herman, and told the situation. Both were waked and stand in the staircase to observe what was that. The same sound heard. Somebody was here and there running. The kitchen light was not shown in the dining room. So they heard the sound only. They couldn't see. They hurried, and so they went to bedroom and forcefully to close the doors. Now we had to see remaining. After a long minute, I slowly opened it again. There was nothing there. There was no sound. None of us ever heard the ghost again. After few minutes, he slowly opened the door and watched somebody there, and to make any sound, nothing to hear. After that, his family couldn't hear the sounds. The slamming of the doors had aroused mother. She peered out of her room. "What on earth are you boys doing?" she demanded. Herman ventured out of his room. "Nothing," he said gruffly, but he was in color a light green. After the banking of the sound, the mother woke up and viewed out of her room. Herman asked, "What are you doing with Rabbisley?" Herman went out of his room and told with sadly, "Nothing, ma," but his face became pale. Gruffly means sadly. Slamming means banking. "What was all that running around downstairs?" said mother. So she had heard the steps too. "We just looked at her burglars," she shouted intuitively. I tried to quieten her by starting lighting downstairs. That means she asked her sons, "What was the sound of running around downstairs?" They thought Herma also heard the same sounds. She laughed with instinctively. They were robbers, the author told. "Be calm," and went to watch what they were doing. Intuitively means instinctively. "Stay with mother," he said. "She's all excited." I stepped back onto the landing. The author called Herman to follow him. Herman told his bro, "Our ma too thrilled, so he should join with her." The author went to stand on the last staircase. "Don't either of you go a step," said mother. "We will call the police," since the phone was downstairs. I didn't see how we were going to call the police, nor did I want the police, but mother made one of her quick, incomparable decisions. She flung up a window of her bedroom, which faced the bedroom windows of the house of a neighbor, picked up a shoe, and whammed it through a pane of glass across the narrow space that separated the two houses. His mother ordered her sons not to go down and we should call the police. But the phone was downstairs. What we do? They may doubt. The author didn't like to call the police, but her mother took sudden matchless decisions. She jumped up a window of her bedroom. She picked up a shoe and threw so fast and attacked with forcefully in opposite neighbor's window. Whammed means attacked with forcefully. Incomparable means matchless. Flung means jump up. Glass dinkled into the bedroom occupied by a retired engraver named Bodwell and his wife. Bodwell had been for some years in rather a bad way and was subject to mild attacks. Almost everybody we knew or lived near had some kinds of attacks. That means that house had one retired sculptor and his wife. The shoe broke through the Bodwell's bedroom window. They already didn't speak to the author's family. So far, Mr. Bodwell had mild attack, so they needed to calm almost the author's family to condemn the near neighbors. It was near 2 o'clock, that so dim and dark. When the window had broken, he made shouted with a little bubbling and begging his duke to sell the house and go back to Poria. The author's family heard when Mrs. Bordwell replied about the mass doing. His mother didn't consider this response and shouted their family. Had thieves in the house. Herman and the author had been brave to tell robbers not ma they were ghosts because his ma so feared about ghosts than robbers. First of all, Bordwell thought that his house had a thieves, so and so. She allotted later only he understood the situation and called the police. After the Bordwell vanished that place, his ma ready to throw another shoe to the house with extremely, but Arthur prevented her. Prevented means stopped her. Extremely means enormously. Disappeared means vanished. Duke means fist. Frothing means bubbling. Within few minutes, most of the policemen came with motorcycles and patrol Carlin, and some journalists also. They hitting in front of the door. They shone the torchlight to enter the house. They made the rough voice to open the door. They told to come from headquarters. The author ready to go and open the door, but his ma prevented and averred not to go to open it. At the time, the policeman had broken the front door and window to struck forcefully. The author heard a rending of wood and a splash of glass on the floor of the hall. The guards, that means police, flashed the light with everywhere. At last, they came to the author's place and asked, "Who are you?" He replied, he was one of the persons here. One of the head police informed Anisma. "Nobody here." And they were went away and inquired, "How many thieves?" His ma answered, "Two or three, I think." They slammed the door very fast and made loud noise also. Both are heard. They are tell about that. The police officers amazed and said, "All doors and windows were locked with inside. How was possible all were inside to come? I'm so confused." In downstairs, the other police officers were searched the robbers in all places, in drawers and cupboards. They opened the windows and closed all, if anywhere. Then the police officers came up and explored if the robbers were hid. One of the policemen found an old jitter and criticized about that. The author explained to his guinea used to sleep on. One policeman said, "Hear nothing else. He was imagining only all done the time." They heard one of sound made in attic. "What is the sound?" Joe, one of the policemen, asked and didn't observe the reply. And 5 or 6 policemen went to the attic. Without announcement, they entered his grandpa's room. He misunderstood the policemen like they needed to escape from the army because they were punished by Stonewall Jackson. When the author entered that room, that place so confused his grandpa that they were escapers and they were required to hide in his room. He jumped with his nightdress and to make a loud and deep sound. All were passed. "Don't stand here," and took Jitter and smacked or flapped the one of the policeman's head. Unexpected, he took gun and shot in front of the cops. All were mad fury and came down. After that incident, he explained about his grandpa and told about his mistake. The police were disinclined to leave with empty hand, with too tired to search of the whole night. One lean journalist came and investigated about the matter. At the time, the author wore his mask dress. He saw him dot with curiosity. He told they had seen ghosts. The reporter to see keen and thought they were like a mad and went. He ground saw the policeman mad bandage, asked his gun to closing and scolding. The author told him to come to the station and surrender the rifle tomorrow onward. After some time, his mother inquired what was the trouble of the policeman. He explained his grandpa's misunderstood and to shoot the police. The mother replied and comment about the police. He was just like nice about all. The next day morning, his grandpa came as usual, like a blossoming flower, and to drink coffee. All were thought he totally forgot about the previous matter. But his grandpa, after the chip of the third time, he inquired about the policeman. What had happened? And he scolded. Why they didn't put the water bottle and nobody didn't care for him. That night, when he had so thirsty, he came to the dining room like to drink. These are the incidents that caused the confusion in the house. Moral of the lesson: what you see can be a lie, what you hear can be a lie, what you investigate is real. Misunderstanding always leads to chaos or confusion. Students, we have any doubt? Later we have to discuss about that. Now, thank you.